Ladies and gentlemen, episode 33, Wilder Wrestling Entertainments. Randy's here again. Randy, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing good. So, Randy and we decided to mix it up, kind of like we did with last month with Royal Rumble. So, what we did was with Elimination Chamber coming up in 1 week, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. We both picked our favorite, or we should say an elimination chamber that kind of like, like popped out in our mind, right? So,
It's hard to pick a favorite.
yeah, they're actually all really good. That's why I kind of
Yeah.
corrected myself. So, we're gonna start mine. So, I picked Elimination Chamber that took place in No Way Out in 2009. There were two of them, but we only picked one each. So I picked the second one, right? So this
That
one,
was the one worth picking.
yeah, absolutely. So this one, John Cena goes in as champion. You have John Cena, you have Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, Kane, Mike Knox, which I completely forgot about. And then you
I
had
mean,
Co then you have Kofi Kingston schedule, but
kind of.
just yeah, right. So he Kofi Kingston, right? Kofi Kingston comes out, right? And Edge just attacks him, right? So Randy, why don't you like tell us like the backstory why Edge attacks him, right?
Well, Edge lost his belt earlier in the night in the
Yes.
SmackDown portion,
Yes.
and
To a
so
to a roll-up pin and in a very
to
like
a oh yeah,
and it's not that good of a roll-up pin either. It looked very sloppy. And then Jeff Hardy pinned him, right?
yeah,
And Edge was pissed, right? Even
clearly.
even even Lito wasn't changing that guy's mood. And
Uh-huh.
so Kofi Kingston comes out, and we're thinking, okay, we got these other guys, and we have Kofi, and it's Kofi Kingston in his Jamaican era, right? So man, prime time Kofi
Yeah,
Kingston.
back when he still had the Jamaican accent.
Yeah, I loved it when he had that.
Uh-huh.
And Edge attacks him, flipping hits him in the head, back of the head with the chair. And Edge just like barricades himself in the match. And the match starts with Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio, which we're seeing prime Rey Mysterio at this point. He's still in his
Mm-hmm.
prime. I forget how good Rey
Dude,
Mysterio
I am
is. I mean, I don't want to say was, he is. I know he doesn't move as fast as he does, but I mean, he's getting older like we all are. But man, dude, he really, man, he was phenomenal in this whole match. Uh, what are your thoughts about this? And as far as I have a couple notes that I wanted to say, but go ahead. I'll let you lead off.
yeah, I went back and watched it too. Obviously, I can't remember back 17 years. Um, but the fun part about this is, everybody doesn't know this, Royal Rumble is my favorite event. Elimination Chamber is probably my second, honestly, because it's
Wow.
just always so fun and the mix up. But we got to wind the clock back 17 years on the likes of Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, John Cena. It's like all these, you forget how good they were. Like Rey Mysterio was my MVP in that whole match. Like he shined, man, from top to bottom. And you saw how he could work with, the likes of Kane. You know, Kane during his like, psychopath era without the mask and all that stuff. Like Kane is probably one of the most dominant big men ever to do it, and he works seamlessly with Rey Mysterio, who's one of the smallest to ever do it. So like I enjoyed it, man. Like that it had a really great dynamic built in with Rey Mysterio like carrying it to me.
Yeah, and it was cool because Rey Mysterio actually is the one who pinned Kane.
Yeah, the
I
flying like senton off the top.
Yeah, and then I noticed like this one where a lot of the guys, like was it Ray Kane and Mike Knox were pinned before even John Cena and Edge entered the match.
Oh yeah.
And I could be wrong, but I know in the later elimination chambers, people didn't start getting pinned until everyone was in the match. It
Yep.
was, so I
I
noticed
noticed
this
that
one.
too.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
And man, I mean Chris Jericho, man, dude, Code Breakers, the Lion Salt. I forget these moves, man. I haven't, I don't
I
watch
know, man.
AEW
Like
so
Jericho
much.
was
So
the man back in the day, man.
yes, he was, man, and. Hey, and let's talk about Mike Knox, man. What happened to Mike Knox? I I remember he got a little bit of a push, and this was probably his peak. And after this, I can't recall what
This
happened.
was after, yeah, this was after the brand switch, and he came back, you know, with the beard all grown out, and he was a little more disheveled, and I guess they were trying. I noticed in the match, I don't know if you listened, but like Jerry Lawler was trying his best to come up with something to say about his character. He's just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, he's just really mean, and he likes to beat people up. It's like, okay,
Yeah, old Jerry. Yeah,
yeah,
man. And then I remember watching this match live. So 2009, John Cena was beating everyone.
dude, he was
And
fast.
yes,
John
yes,
was fast back then.
he was. And I remember we all went crazy when, that, what was it? Would it go in order where Jericho hit the code breaker, Rey Mysterio hit the 619, and then Edge speared him and pinned him. And people were
Yeah,
like, what? Cena's losing the belt? It's
yeah, they
crazy.
blew
So,
him up, literally.
yeah. And so at this point, we know that Cena's not winning it, and which Cena won majority of the matches in 2009 that he was in,
Oh yeah, this is
so.
Super Cena.
Yes. And so I just remember that stuck out. And man, and an Edge, dude, just taking advantage, man. I mean, the guy who started the Money in the Bank, like cashing in after a match, and then he just comes in, and then the first and only the ever, as far as in participating in two elimination chambers in one night,
Yeah,
and who held the title, the SmackDown and Raw title in one night as well, too, right? I mean, he's got to be.
yeah.
I
I mean that makes sense. Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know any other setup like that.
that's actually why I picked this match. Well, one, the way Cena was eliminated because that was just unheard of back then, and then
Yeah.
Edge just taking it, man. I love this match, man. I don't want to say it's my favorite because I'm like you. They're all really good. Elimination Chambers. I can't think of a one that I did not like. I could be wrong. Maybe I should just rewatch
Well,
all of them. But
yeah, I could find one or two, but
nah,
for the
okay.
most part, yeah.
But this one's great though, man. I love it, man. I mean, I'm rating it 5 out of 5 just because you didn't see the ending coming. You didn't see
Yeah.
anything like, Edge coming in at the last minute and then ended up winning it. I mean, people were like,
I
whoa,
mean, you
that's
couldn't see that coming because you couldn't see Edge even being involved in the match to begin
yeah.
with. You know, it was
And
a
then
swerve from the start.
yes. And then Jericho and Rey Mysterio holding it down throughout the whole match, man. And this man,
Yeah.
they were
I
great.
mean, I mean, it was like people got eliminated pretty quickly in this match, like you said. But how long did Edge and Mysterio just go at it?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean? Like, I
And
think they had 10 minutes to themselves to just program, and they nailed it.
they did. They did. And dude, when flipping Edge flew Mysterio into that like the glass plate, I want to say glass
Yeah,
plastic. Man, that looked like it hurt.
threw him through it. Yeah,
Yeah, and then finished with that spear. That was great, man. It was a great ending, man. And Kane, I mean the Kane, but Edge is dude, he's one of the greatest, man. And this is one of the matches that prove why he's one of the greatest. So
he
that's
was
why I
one of the
picked it.
greatest. I mean, the term "chicken shit heel" exists for a reason, and it is. It's an archetype for a heel character, and Edge played it better than a lot of people, man. Like the
Yes.
opportunistic tendencies that he had. I mean, he knew Kofi Kingston was obviously the weak link that he could just run out there and just like, you know what I mean, like take out quickly, and then he locks himself in the
Yes.
cell, and he's just like, nope, I ain't
Yeah.
coming out.
Not today.
That's how Edge got into this match. If y'all
Oh
don't
man.
know, it
Yes,
was too
man.
good.
If if you haven't watched this match, it's No Way Out 2009. It's actually the last No Way Out because in 2010 they turned the event into Elimination Chamber. They name it
Yep.
after the match. So this is the last time you see No Way Out. It's on Netflix, man. You gotta check it out. It's the main event. It's a
And it was
great
also
match.
during the era where they still fought for the championship too. You know,
Yes.
since they've gone to the two-night format for WrestleMania, they don't do that anymore. You
No.
know, now it's they find another contender for the belt that didn't get claimed after Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So yeah, this was a special time, for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and man, great match. I love it. I'm
Hmm.
really glad we're doing this episode. So let's move on. So let us know which one you picked, Randy. Let's start it out for us.
Yeah, my pick is a little more recent. It's within the last 10 years, but it was the Elimination Chamber 2017. This was I think when WWE started to get their stride back a little bit. When they started to get some more names coming up. This is after the Shield guys, came in, and we have Bray Wyatt who's in this, match, and the Wyatt family, and it was just a good time. It was before COVID and all and TKO and things got weird and all that stuff, but just and again, like going back and just rolling the clock back on, well, John Cena again, but this
Hey,
was
did you notice, and I didn't mean to cut you off, did you notice
yeah,
that both Elimination Chamber matches we picked, John Cena entered as champion?
yeah, yeah.
I
And it
I
made me
I
look
got that
back.
immediately, right? So
I noticed
crazy.
when I was thumbing through, like, trying to like make a decision and stuff, like most of the match like highlight thumbnails had John Cena in it. Like John Cena, how many did he do? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I don't, but I know that after last week's episode, I did confirm that Randy Orton is all time at 10, starting because
Oh,
of this
okay.
one. So Cena might be he's got to be at 8 or 9.
He's got to be close. Yeah,
Yes.
he's got to be in there.
All right. And then I
So
didn't mean to
this
cut
was
you off, but
no, you're
that
good,
just
good, good. But
popped in
there's
my
a
head.
couple of this was this was another this is before the two-night format, so this is another one where the actual WWE title was on the line. And I mean, we start off with John Cena and AJ Styles. And
Yes.
we just rolled the clock back 9 years on AJ Styles. This is him, maybe 2 years into the company, like he's hungry. He's still, I think he was with the OC at the time, or maybe like that was dwindling
I
down.
know at this point, because 2016 was like AJ Styles year in WWE. He already won the
Mm-hmm.
champion. He beat John Cena, and so he's
Yep.
already held the belt at this point. Uh, and so I know you said that Cena and AJ Styles were in it, and you mentioned Bray Wyatt. Let everyone else know because a lot of people probably have not seen this.
Yeah, yeah.
Who
So
else is
so
in
the
this?
lineup so the lineup was we're starting with John Cena, AJ Styles. Um, a lot of people were starting to see the independent rise of Dean Ambrose,
Yes.
which AKA John Moxley, massive superstar now. The Shield guy. Man, look, the Shield. Like, come on. But yeah, so we got Dean Ambrose going in there, and this is during the lunatic fringe phase. So I mean, he always had that like you remember the scene from the Dark Knight at the end, like where it was like Heath Ledger's Joker versus the Batman, and it's like they're fighting in the high rise and stuff. That's the way I always like pictured Dean Ambrose, like the way he just like his aggression and the way that he fights. So he was a cool character to have in there. We also have Baron Corbin at this time. This is before the Happy Corbin and King, all the gimmicks that tried and failed. This is him like fresh out of NXT, uh, the Lone Wolf. He was a powerhouse. This guy's a former NFL player. So they did try to give him a little bit of a push coming out. Um, so then we have Bray Wyatt. This is actually at the end of the Wyatt family
Yes.
era, because earlier in that night was Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. This is when Randy Orton was part of the Wyatt family for that brief moment in time. That was awesome. And of course we have The Miz, Mr.
That's who I'm waiting for.
Mike The Miz. But
Yes.
this is the A-lister. This is back whenever they actually like gave Miz his flowers. Like he was a legit contender back then. So we just had this match full of these guys in their prime. Um, and it was just a great match from start to finish. I mean, like I said, you started out with the likes of John Cena versus AJ Styles, and like you said, they already had previous work with each other, so the chemistry in the ring is a great. There was a point where I think John Cena hit a code red on AJ, and you could just tell AJ, just being, in his prime back then, like just the amount of effort that they went to like flip through. It looked crisp, it looked clean, it was fast. Then you have like the you go from really good technical wrestling and stuff going into Dean Ambrose coming out. And I mean, Dean Ambrose is just that brawler guy. He immediately comes in and he's slamming people into the fence, and It's getting hard hitting, and then you get Bray Wyatt coming in, instant like, dude, seeing his entrance again with the the before they changed the theme song and everything, and he was still had the Swamp Preacher. I mean, this is the Bray Wyatt we were dealing with back then. But just the chills, man. Like people loved that guy. They loved his character. Like he just brought the energy into the room. And
I
he's just
was
such a yeah, yeah.
no, I was very lucky enough to see Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family and live in person. And man, you're talking about what a presence that guy has in a,
Yeah.
an auditorium. Well, I mean, whatever you want to call
You
it,
got to
it's
like
just,
even looking at the Wyatts now, like they're trying to do what Bray Wyatt did. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't
yes.
have that aura. Like Bray Wyatt just had an aura about him. Like you believed his character, which is hard to do with these like supernatural guys, man. Like he's just fantastic. And then just ferocious in the ring, dude. I forget how mean he was in the ring.
Yeah, one
Like
of a
throwing his
kind.
weight around.
Yes, one of a kind, man. He moved like Rey Mysterio, in
Yeah.
certain ways, man. It was just like he was fast.
When he first debuted, they said I forget who it was that said it. It may have been Jerry, but he said he was like a tank with a Ferrari engine.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, he's
Good
just
job, Jerry.
yeah. But I mean, you got this 300-pound guy that just moves so quickly and aggressively, and actually, him and Dean Ambrose, that was like just the best combo you could have at the time of just like just the gritty, nasty guys, coming in. And then of course you got Miz. He played the edge role kind of in this. Like he stayed back and just kind of stayed in his cell whenever he first got in.
I was so
And
aggravated when John Cena eliminated a Miz. I was like, come on, Cena. Stop
oh, he
picking him
did,
up, boy.
yeah. So our first let me get actually into the match. I'm just kind of praising people at this point because I'm such a fan of all these guys. But yeah. So I mean, we have John and AJ, and they go through their thing. Great wrestling and stuff, couple of good spots, and then you get the aggression, coming in with Dean Ambrose. Baron Corbin comes in, and this is when we start getting some eliminations. Baron Corbin comes in, and he's the new young up and coming guy, and he's just throwing people around, man. I mean, he comes in with like a house on fire, and finally gets to the point where he's not really paying attention, and then we could just get we just get one of those little cheap roll-ups from Dean Ambrose, so
Yeah.
Corbin's gone, and then we get the typical, well, I'm not leaving until I beat the crap out of this guy. He starts slamming Ambrose around and just really like softening him up, and then that's when we see the Miz. He realizes Corbin just set him up, and everything. He hit the end of days, all that good stuff. So Miz slides out and gets himself a victory, or gets himself an elimination. And then we're down to, you
Did
know,
did Miz eliminated Dean Ambrose? Uh,
Miz did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was after, because like Baron Corbin basically eliminated him, but Miz like he had that little like where he was like looking around because everybody else was busy, and he just like
Okay.
scrambles over and gets the pin. And then we get the famous, Miz gets a little bit of a run right there. He does the awesome clothesline in the corner, and he hit the skull crushing finale on Wyatt on the outside of the ring, and they gave you realize like Mike was actually a player back then, man. Like they gave him a couple of good spots.
He still is.
He still is. He's still an A-lister. What was this when the Marine like 5 came out or something like that?
I forgot he was in the Marine too. Oh, legend.
uh, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, so that goes on for a little bit, and then he tries and fails to do a crossbody off the top rope. I think they invented this spot because Cena became like, he used it, especially on this retirement tour where he catches the guy, off the top ropes, and they kind of do the momentum like roll back, and then Cena stands up with him,
yeah.
throws him up on the shoulder, attitude adjustment. Miz is gone, So then we're dealing with John Cena, AJ Styles, and Bray freaking Wyatt. Like
Yeah.
that in itself, dude, like in a triple threat scenario, incredible.
That would sell out a stadium today.
Absolutely. That's a WrestleMania main event, like all day
Yes.
long, you know? And unfortunately, you know, all three of those guys like are no longer in the company now, in one way or the other. Like as of
Yeah.
this year.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, this was actually the time too. John Cena was on his 16th title run, so this was number 16, and Bray catches him. Bray catches him with the sister Abigail and puts him down. So we're guaranteed a new champion.
I like that too, man, because I remember watching this and I was like, holy smokes. But at the time, I'm thinking AJ Styles is going to take it because
Me
AJ
too.
Styles was just, man, like, he's the fresh guy in WWE. Like you said, Bray Wyatt, though, a legend. Wyatt family was kind of like, you could see that it was dying down at this point because I
Mm-hmm.
remember when he started grinning the dreadlocks. It's when like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yep.
all right, this was near the end of the Wyatt family, right?
This is like the Eater of Worlds
Yes.
uh,
Yes,
era.
exactly. So I'm thinking AJ Styles is taking this and then go on, man. What a great
Yeah.
one-on-one too in this.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it fired back. It had all the classics in it. Um, you know, we have, you know, AJ did God, man, the springboard 450 looks good every time he does it. That was such a cool move.
I thought that's
But
when he was gonna have it too, man. After he
yeah,
landed that,
exactly.
yeah.
You know, but you know, it came down to it, and it was a little bit of an awkward spot in my opinion. I see what they were trying to do, and it's you know, God, it's hard to you know catch people like flying through the air into a move, but they did the phenomenal forearm where you know
He
Bray
took
kind of
his
caught
he
to
took
the
his pads
side.
off too, right? You know?
Yeah, but Bray steps to the side and somehow like catches him and Sister Abigail, and we get Bray Wyatt, which is the whole reason that I picked this match as my favorite. It was Bray Wyatt's first championship run
Absolutely.
and the end of John Cena number 16,
Oh
which
yes.
we didn't get 17 until this past year. So that was the beginning of like Cena's like long stretch of not having the belt.
Yeah, and and honestly too, this was like when we kind of stopped seeing Cena on a regular basis too.
Yeah,
Like
this is right before like he started getting a little Hollywood shine to him, you know, and getting movie
exactly.
roles and stepping back. But I mean, God, you figure this is 2017. This guy's already been in the league 15 years.
Yeah,
Like
man.
it was just a great it's some of my favorite wrestlers in the ring at the same time. One of my favorite of all time winning his first championship. That's why 2017 is my favorite.
It's a great pick, man. Honestly, I would say this one's 5 out of 5 too, because man, I mean,
Yeah, five animals.
who was not a fan of Bray Wyatt, and to see him get his first championship belt at such a big event, Elimination Chamber. I
Hmm.
mean, it's looks like it hurts when you're inside there. So, but great pick, man. I love this, man. And
Yeah.
we got Elimination Chamber coming up. At this point, we don't know who's all in it. But I'm glad we actually did this where we got to pick our I would say I guess our favorites were ones that, kind of stuck out in our minds. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, great, man. Uh if y'all let us know like what your favorite elimination chamber is because there's quite a few of them now. Thank you to Eric Bischoff who introduced
Did
it
you
back.
have a did you have a like a close runner up?
No, not at all. No, this one right here is just the one that I always remember just because the way the
Yeah.
Edge got in it and the way Cena was eliminated, man. Like how everyone like said, let's get Cena out of here.
I'll
You know.
throw I won't go into detail about it, but just a bonus for anybody watching. Go check out 2005's Elimination Chamber match as well. That was probably my runner up.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out then. Cool, man. So let's wrap it up here, man. Like I said, let us know like what's your favorite elimination chamber if you like the ones that we picked. Like I said, I my pick was No Way Out in 2009, main event. Randy's was Elimination Chamber 2017, the main event. Both great matches, man. So I
Yeah,
let us
good
know.
pick.
And remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up. Thumbs up goes a long way, right? So, and Randy, thank you very much. And everyone, y'all have a
Yeah,
good one.
thank you.
See ya.
This was a fun episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I want to do this like, when these certain type of matches come around, we pick our
Yeah.
favorites, So, all right, everyone, y'all have a good one. See ya.